Welcome back to another video from Desi. I hope you're doing great. So today I thought maybe I would do a book reading session or a book review or synopsis session wherein I could tell you about the recent books that I've read. I've got 4 different books for you. I've got 4 different books for you tonight. Alright. So if you ask me, I totally prefer reading books than the ebooks because ebooks does not give me that kind of satisfaction from what I can get by reading a book as an hard copy. As I am not a native English speaker, I get to learn much more by reading the books through book as a book instead of e-readers. But I do agree that e-readers saves a lot of time. It saves a lot of time. You could easily finish a book in half the time that you would take to read the book. So, anyways, my first book for you is The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. This is a short novel written by Ernest Hemingway. It's hardly 100 pages. Let's see. It's uh, it's 96 pages. It's 96 pages. Let me look at the synopsis for you. Set in the Gulf Stream off the coast of Havana, Hemingway's magnificent fable is the story of an old man, a young boy, and a giant fish. In a perfectly crafted story, which won for Hemingway the Nobel Prize for Literature, is a unique and timeless vision of the beauty and grief of man's challenge to the elements in which he lives. So, as per my understanding, this book is about Santiago, who is a Cuban fisherman, and his struggles in life. He is an elderly fisherman who has been going into the sea for past 84 days, and he was coming back empty-handed without any catch. So he has an helper or a person trained by him. His name is Manolin, and Manolin's parents has forced him to get into another boat because they think Santiago's boat is unlucky for him. But Manolin still visits Santiago, feeds him dinner, gives him fresh bait every morning, and he's also ready to join him to go into the sea. But since Manolin's parents are not agreeing with that, he has to opt for a different boat. And on the 85th day, Santiago decides to go deep into the ocean to find a huge marlin. To his disappointment, he couldn't find any huge catch. He was only getting small fishes which he could use as baits. But finally, on the same day, he gets a huge marlin in his sea line. It's hooked into his sea line, but the marlin is twice as big as his boat. So, what happens next is all in the novel. Whether Santiago comes back with the marlin to the shore is all about the novel, and it's very symbolic. It talks about patience, talks about friendship. As per my understanding, it has some inner meanings as well. So this has won him the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1953. It's considered one of the best works of Ernest Hemingway. Do check it out if you would like to. Okay, let's jump right into the next book. Okay, next I have got you this. A series of unfortunate events. The Bad Beginning. A series of unfortunate events. The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket. This is a very sad novel. I wouldn't really suggest you this because from the beginning till the end it's all unfortunate events as mentioned in the title. It's all about three children, the Badlayer siblings, and their tragic life. So let me give you a insight of the plot. Okay, so first let me read out the note from the writer. I'm sorry to say that the book you're holding in your hands is extremely unpleasant. It tells an unhappy tale about three very unlucky children. Even though they are charming and clever, the Baudelaire siblings led lives filled with misery and woe. From the very first page of the book, when the children are at the beach and receive terrible news, continuing on through the entire story, disaster lurks at their heels. One might say they are magnets for misfortune. In this short book alone, the three young youngsters encounter a greedy and repulsive villain, itchy clothing, a disastrous fire, a plot to steal their fortune, and cold porridge for breakfast. It is my sad duty to write down these unpleasant tales, but there is nothing stopping you from putting this book down at once and reading something happy if you prefer that sort of thing. With all due respect, Lemony Snicket. So this book tells about three siblings, the Baudelaire siblings, Violet, Close, and I don't recall the third name. Okay, so the plot starts like this. While the children are at the beach, they receive a very terrible news that their parents have died in a fire accident that destroyed their home. So they have to live with a distant relative who is a very bad person. Very bad person. He makes them do all the household chores. He makes them do all his cooking, all his washing, and the children are tortured in his home, and it goes on, and till the end, and it's even the climax, towards climax, it's very tragic. So if you are into that sort of novels, then I would suggest you this. It's a really classic one, but yes, it's a sad story. So that's it about the series of unfortunate events. Let's go to the next book. Next, I have. Give me a second. Let me just. Next, I have got for you an Indian novel. The one Indian novel for you. One Indian Girl by Chetan Bhagat. One Indian Girl by Chetan Bhagat. He is one of the renowned writers in India. He addresses the issues in society, not based on true stories. It's all fiction, but people can really relate that to their real life. So the synopsis goes like this. Hi, I'm Radhika Mehta and I'm getting married this week. I work at Goldman Sachs, an investment bank. Thank you for reading my story. However, let me warn you, you may not like me too much. 1. I make a lot of money. 2. I have an opinion on everything. 3. I have had a boyfriend before. Okay, maybe 2. Now, if I was a guy, you would be okay with all this. But since I am a girl, these 3 things don't really make me too likable, do they? That's all in the synopsis. They have not revealed much of the plot in this back side of the book. But let me tell you, this book is about a girl named Radhika Mehta, a middle class Indian girl, and she lands in a job at Goldman Sachs in New York City, and she becomes a victim of racism, sexism, and she, with all this, she ends up being the VP, Vice President of the organization. But once she ends up in a relationship with a Indian guy who also works in Facebook, they had a really bad relation. I'm sorry, I'm trying to recollect the story, so bear with me there. Just let me. Yeah. So she was forced into an arranged marriage by her parents, which usually happens in India. So, and she's not into that marriage, but as per their culture, they're not allowed to date someone. They are a very traditional Indian family, even though she works in New York. So she decides to put up a destination wedding in Goa, and she has got 2 ex-boyfriends in this novel. One is a married man, double her age. He's almost double her age. So she calls both of them prior to the marriage to just have a last meet. And what happens next is the twist in the novel. So I'm not revealing it to you. So if you are into Indian culture, if you'd like to learn more of Indian culture, how things work out, how weddings happen, you should definitely give it a try. There are other few works by Chetan Bhagat that's very famous, like Three Mistakes of My Life, One Night at a Call Center. All of these are good, really good works by Chetan Bhagat. And finally, I have got you a recipe book for you. A recipe book. Simple Cooking for Smart Men. It's a basic recipe book. Just that she has mentioned simple cooking for smart men. It's it was a gift from one of my friend to me, Let's see what she has written. Men can cook, or can men cook? This is the question. Karen Allen says yes. Men make the best chefs. Yes, they cook really well, but only when they are paid for it. Karen Anand, in her book Simple Cooking for Smart Men, decides to take upon herself the challenge of creating recipes and putting together a sort of how-to manual for smart men interested in finding their way into the kitchen. She gives men simple recipes, the kind of food they miss while living on their own. Recipes which can be prepared much in advance. Recipes to wine and dine your boss, your girlfriend, your wife, etc. etc. So it has got a lot of recipes in this. It has been classified as different sections. Food for starting off, food for party season, food for the fit man, food for special occasion, food for when it's gone tough, food for the Desi guy, food that guys love, food to end with. So how about I read a recipe for you right now? A small recipe, small Indian recipe. Yeah? Okay. So I would go for a very small recipe just in case you would like to know how she has put it through. Okay, I'll go for this roasted onion rice. Roasted onion rice. Roasted onion rice. Page 71. Let's go to page 71. Yes, roasted onion rice serves for. So let's look at the ingredients. 2 cup basmati rice, 6 onions roasted, 1 inch stick cinnamon, 3 to 4 cloves, 2 to 3 black cardamom, 1 teaspoon oil, 5 cups water, salt to taste. Method: place whole onions in hot oven, brush with a little oil and roast at a low to medium temperature until they are golden and soft. Around 30 to 40 minutes. Remove, cool, discard the skin, which should be charred, and chop the soft onion. Wash the rice and place in a rice cooker with roasted onions, cinnamon, cloves, cardamom, water and salt. Cook until the rice is done, approx 12 minutes. Kitchen essentials for the recipe: rice cooker and rice platter and a oven. That's all. It's a very basic recipe. It's just onion with rice, but it has got more. It has got sheikh kebab, butter chicken, dal bukhara, and many more. It has got a special Christmas special page. Let's see what's Christmas build. Yeah, stuffed turkey, stuffed chicken, honey roast ham, Christmas pudding. So it has got many recipes. Do check it out. So that's it all. These books were bought by me last year. I haven't recently read this book. Recently, I was not finding time to invest on reading, so I've lost. I've lost a little bit. How I explain the plot might not be exact. So I hope you enjoyed this session, book reading session. Do let me know your feedback, and see you in the next video. Bye.